A midsummer's day in London, thousands of tourists around. This is South Kensington. This is the area of the museums, a big tourist resort for London. But guess what? This is also the venue, I hear, of some sort of Formula One function. I hear some Ferrari luminaries in there up on the first floor. Let's go and have a look and see what's going on. Nicholas. What we have here is one of the big Formula One sponsors, and Shell have been around a long time, as indeed several other companies, but they're making very good use, I think, of their involvement in Formula One by putting up this display in the Science Museum, one of the august museums of London in South Ken. Thousands of tourists and visitors here every day, let alone throughout the year. And here is Shell, pre-British Grand Prix, with a simulator showing their tie-up with science, and they're one of the sponsors of the Science Museum, as it turns out. And lots of interesting people here. Felipe Massa, Nicholas Tombasis, other engineers. Let's go and have a look and see what they're doing.
On the Silverstone.
Interesting to see this simulator, Felipe, on board now. Only 3 of these simulators in the world. One is at Maranello, second is in the house of one Signor Fernando Alonso, and this is the third. It actually does a global tour with Shell, it's their property, but is identical to the Maranello and Alonso simulators. And fascinating to see Felipe, fascinating to see his hand movement, and also to see his facial expressions, something we don't get to see very often, of course, on the standard onboards.
Which is very, very high speed. You can see very high speed here. Corners. Now it's one of the most incredible parts, which is very big change of directions.
One of the great things about days like this is seeing sponsors like Shell, and there are plenty of others, making good use of the team and its technical input and the way the drivers interact with the engineers, and that's all got to be explained to the public, and it's done very well on a day like this. And equally, it gives people like me an opportunity to spend time that I wouldn't otherwise have at a Grand Prix weekend with drivers like Felipe Massa. So I'm going to chat to Felipe. He's available for 10 or 15 minutes about, well, everything under the sun, life in the universe. Felipe, good to see some old Felipe Massa back there again. Started at Monaco, kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, but the car obviously gives you a bit more feel now. Can I just ask you where you're at in your mind and your feel for the car, and how long the next win is away?
Well, for sure is, I mean, beginning of the season was difficult. I mean, it was not very like I expected, you know. I would say the first 2 races was very difficult, you know, was completely outside on the setup and everything. Monaco, I would say, is where we feel the big step on the car. You know, it's very what we felt the car more competitive, quicker. You know, more downforce, and I think from there on the situation is completely different. You know, even if I still not having a good result, you know, to say. But I don't think it's coming just from because, you know, I was slow or, you know, not on the pace. I think it was because of different reasons, you know.
But that spin in Canada, you could have been in really good shape.
This I put myself completely over the table, you know, because it was my mistake. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know why I made that mistake. I was not trying to brake late. I was not trying to do anything. But I touched the curb, my rear went away. So unfortunately, you know, because it was a great possibility to do a good race, you know, not just in Canada but in Valencia as well. In Valencia, the difference was a little bit another one, you know. Valencia started the race in lap 7. We had a problem on the floor, and the piece came down, and I lost a lot of downforce. So maybe what I lost in talking about downforce, it was like 1 second per lap, in lap 7. So this for sure destroyed my balance, destroyed my race straight away. And even, you know, with this problem, I think I was going to fight for the top 5 in the race, you know. And then, you know, I think Kobayashi didn't see him in the corner or something. The race finished. But I think you know, everything was there. You know, everything was good in the qualifying, the pace, and the practice, on the race. Everything was there. So I believe I'm much stronger now. Just waiting just the good luck and everything to have the result, and I'm sure we're gonna have.
Felipe, how big an impact did that race at Hockenheim have on you 2 years ago when you had to give the win to Fernando? Was that something you could forget about the next morning, or did you take that with you for a while after that? Because it must be a difficult thing for any athlete, any sportsman to do.
For sure, you have a little thinkings about that. But for sure, I mean, every time I go in the car, now I don't think about Hockenheim. You know, I think about doing my best. I think about doing the best lap time I can. You know, working the car in the best direction I can, making the best setup to win. You know, so for sure, I mean, I had the nicest times in my life. You know, nice victories and everything. But you know, you have difficult times, in which you just need to go forward, you know, and think about doing the best the next day.
How different does the team feel now compared with the Michael era team?
Well, I think for sure the team is always have always the direction to try to be champion, you know, and to try to follow the best possibilities, you know, to make to have a champion driver and a champion team, you know, and I think, I mean, that's the direction now, and it was the direction also with Michael. It was the direction also with
yeah, but the point I'm making, though, it appears from the outside as if it was less problematic for Felipe to do the job that you can do in the Michael era than in this era.
Well, I mean, I think it's difficult to say. I mean, I had 1 year with Michael. I mean, the first half of the season he was much better than me, and the second half, you know, it was maybe similar, or even many races I was better than him, you know. So, and then I had also a great time with Kimi as well, and I think, you know, in these last 2 years it was a little bit not easy. I mean, many things change as well, you know, in the tires, the car is completely different than how it was before. So many things change. I mean, for sure, I still believe in myself. I still believe, you know, I am able to win race. I am able to win championship, and I still believe on that. And I think when you don't believe anymore, it's the time to stop. And I'm not on the time to stop.
For sure, you believe in yourself. Do you enjoy driving the lap as much as ever?
Yeah, sure. I mean, for sure, you enjoy more when you see yourself first. You know, you have a better happiness. You know. But I also believe that when I have a good result, it helps, you know, to carry on in this direction. So just working for that.